Welcome to the Art Lady channel. Today's lesson is going to be a line sketch of a warthog. And I recently visited my local zoo, so I have a little video clip of a warthog close up. He was an interesting little character, but what I loved about him was all of these interesting lines and shapes of his face. So that's what we're gonna focus on today. So let's look real quick at the warthog close up, and then we'll sketch it together. Hey, guy. He's got short little curvy, almost C-shaped horns. His nostrils and his nose. Pretty small ears. Start off the warthog, we're going to hold our paper 9 by 12. So the longer piece is going to be down the side and the shorter side will be at the top. And we're going to go down 2 fingers from the top. So you place your fingers near the edge, and then we're going to measure down 2 fingers. And I'm just going to put a guideline here in the very center. So I go from side to side, and that's my line. Now I'm going to come over from the very middle. I'm going to go over on each side equal distance. We want this to be somewhat symmetrical, his face, because his face is actually symmetrical down the middle. So if you want to fold your paper actually right in half, just a light fold. That way we have a guideline of where half is. So I can see half and half. And then if this line needs to be adjusted, you can adjust it. This is going to be where the warthog's kind of, I guess you could call it like a mane, or he has a just some longer fur here come up. So if you want to give some sketch lines of fur here, some long lines, and then maybe some short here. He has like a tuft of fur up at the top. And then he's got his 2 ears coming off of this line. Now this line in the very middle is about 3 fingers. So if yours isn't 3 fingers wide, just make sure you have it at least 3 fingers here. You can even extend it a little bit to make sure you can see those lines. See how I measure? And I can actually see a line on each side. So I know it's wide enough, because you don't want to start with a really tiny part of his head. And then this is where the ears will come down. They'll set in here toward each corner. So now we're going to do diagonal line down on each side and a diagonal line down. And then this will give the area for his ears on both sides. I want to make sure it's coming down equal on both sides. And then we're going to swoop in a bit to make these the areas where his eyes go. So we're going to measure down probably your whole hand down. And then I'm going to go right to the edge on each side. Okay? This is where I'm going to put a line and a line. So I've measured the whole hand, then I've come across and came across. This is where this is going to come down, and it's going to not touch this dot here. If I come down straight, I want this to slightly swoop out on each area. So this is going to slightly swoop out. This is going to form like his jawbone here, or actually it's a cheekbone on both sides. And then from here, we're going to curve in right to that space. And on this side, I'm going to skip over, and that's about 2 fingers. Mark it, and I'm going to curve over and down. So this is going to come out, and then it's going to come back down. So now I'm going to round this and come down. And then this is going to curve down. So I'm going to do the same on the other side. I'm going to round this and come in, like I did here, round and in, and then this is going to curve over. So I have it go, it's thicker, then it comes in, and then branches back out. This area is where the horns are going to attach to. But right now I'm just going to curve down, and it's a slight curve down, and a slight curve down on this side. And this is the socket area for the horns. So I'm going to come now, curve it up, a nice curve up, and on this edge I'm going to curve up, and then this gets rounded right here. So I'm curving up. I'm trying to keep it as symmetrical as I can. Curve it up, and then round the tip right there. Now I'm going to move this up so you can see it. So now I've got the 2 horns. I'm going to actually put in the eyes right now. So this is the socket area. So this is raised up, and then this comes back. This comes in to form the eyes. I'm going to put a line coming across on both sides. And then I'm going to start forming, this is like a wrinkled area. Now I'm going to form the eye part, and this is going to come over, and it's slightly diagonal, going up, slightly going up. Then I'm going to do a straight line vertical, and then I'm going to curve it and curve it to connect. And so this is our eye area here. So you can just go down and up, down and up. And if you want to color in a circular shape in here, you can. He has a pretty dark eye area. And now we're going to go ahead, I'll make this a little bit bigger on this side. Now we're going to go ahead and add the ears. So I'm going to pull this down. For his ear, I want to use up most of this space. So I'm going to curve this almost to the edge of my page here. And I'm going to follow this natural shape here. I'm going to round it. I'm going to come down. And then I'm going to bring it back to the head. And then this is going to come up diagonal, up with a slight curve. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. This curves to the top of the page. So I went to the top, curved over. I'm going to round this down, and then I bring it back to the head. And then this is where the outer side, this ends up being, so a line from here, skip over a little bit, come up. So this becomes the outside, and this becomes the inside area of his ear. Let me show you on here. Once you color it in, this makes the dark shadow of his ear. So this is the outside of his ear right there. And we're almost done. So I'm going to go ahead and slide him up, and we'll finish the bottom. Now I put a line 1 finger up from the very bottom, and that's going to start the bottom of the snout here, right there. So we're going to form the snout, and then we're going to connect it to the 2 tusks here. What I do is I come over, and we're going to come up a little bit more than a finger here. So we give a little space here and there. And we're going to start forming the nostril area around the snout. So I have a straight horizontal line, and then there's a straight horizontal line here. Now I'm going to slightly come up and down and around. So I'm going to come up, down, and around. It almost forms like a peanut shape. And then from here, I'm going to come out and then back up to the tusk. Out and then back up to the tusk, like that. Now we're going to put in 2 nostrils. So if you start off with almost an N curve, then I'm going to come down and over, and then I'm just going to kind of round this and connect it. So come down toward the center, and then just kind of connect. And then you have 2 little nostril areas. Actually, they're pretty big areas on the warthog. And then there's some wrinkles in here, so I'm just going to do some line details here. And then they have some grayish white whiskers coming out. So I'm coming under the tusk, just pulling one longer, and some shorter ones. And if you do a couple more real short ones, so it's a total of, say, 5. You don't want to put every single whisker, but 3, 5, any odd number's fine. And there we have our simple line sketch of the warthog. And you can have fun decorating it, coloring it in any way that you'd like. And I'm going to show you how I colored this one in. I was using some magentas and some purple, and I used that as my accent color. Because the warthog is kind of grayish brown, I wanted to add some fun color to it, but it's up to you how you want to decorate yours. And then I decided just not to do any body or anything coming off. This is just straight on view of the warthog. So I just did some like green in the background. But it's up to you if you want to put them in some jungle or tropical pictures in the back. But I hope you enjoyed it and have fun, and let me know in the comments how yours came out.